We're here at DMW Music with Darryl Ballantyne from LyricFind. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good to see you at the Fireside Chat.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. So tell us about LyricFind and your business model and what kind of drives everything for you guys over there.
Sure. So LyricFind is an aggregator of all the rights and content for the use of song lyrics online. We've done licensing deals with about 3,000 music publishers at this point to get the rights to use lyrics online. And we actually have a team of people that sit with headphones on typing out lyrics to build out an accurate database of all of that content. And then that gets packaged together and sub-licensed to music services and websites that want to use that content. So our clients are people like Shazam and SoundHound or Microsoft. We just had a launch yesterday with HTC and all of their new phones where synchronized lyrics are embedded into the music player. Lots of lyric websites like lyrics.com, song meanings, Metro Lyrics, etc. So cool. Basically everybody who's using lyrics online is licensing them through us to have them legally.
You know, compared to master recordings and written songs, where do lyrics fall in the IP space and what surrounds that?
Lyrics they're a publishing right, so we fortunately only have to deal with the publishing side rather than both the label and publishing. And it's an area that up until recently was completely unexploited and unmonetized and unlicensed. There was a lot of lyric sites on the internet making a lot of money off of advertising but not paying any royalties. So we started back in 2004 and went to the publishers with a proposition of aggregating these rights and licensing all of these different sites and getting them to pay a chunk of their revenue, which at the time was a bit of a more
uphill battle, or
yeah, it was uphill, although not as bad as it could have been, because we had the luxury of going into a space where zero revenue was being generated by the publishers at the time. So the roadblock was more getting the publishers comfortable with actually granting that license and the fact that they actually could grant that license rather than a pricing issue, because any revenue was better than zero revenue that they were getting off of it.
Cool.
So the nice thing was we were able to do deals, and we've been able to expand on those deals in the years in between that allow us to license music services on a variety of different models. We license to people on rev share models, on per display licensing, on subscription models. We license per device. We even have a licensing model where we provide the content for free in exchange for us controlling the advertising space on those pages so that we can monetize it and pay the publisher. So we're very, very flexible with models as long as it's generating revenue for the rights holders.
So you were on a panel here at DMW Music.
Yeah.
What was the title of the panel, and what were some of the key discussions that you had?
The title was about copyrights and whether the system is broken. And it was actually a really great panel, a lot of fun to be on, a very, very lively debate, which always makes for a really entertaining and fun panel to be on too. Some of the big things that came out of it, there was debate about fairness of royalty rates for different streaming services, whether it's Pandora versus Sirius versus Spotify, terrestrial radio, talking about the difficulties of licensing. So one of the parts that was near and dear to our heart is the fragmentation in the publishing industry. An example of that was we talked about the song Rich Girl by Gwen Stefani, which has, I think it's 14, it might be even more than that, different publishers that own a piece of that song, which makes licensing to be able to use that very difficult.
Yep.
And how do you handle that? And there are some ways that it can be handled easily within the US, but for us, we're in 30 different countries right now.
Once you go online, you have to think internationally.
You really do have to manage copyright in a global sense, and we have to manage rights on a territory by territory basis for every country that we're in, which is extremely difficult and resource intensive. But there was some great conversation around that and around the issues with some of the publishers withdrawing their rights from the PROs, just BMI, to negotiate directly, and the results that have come out of that. So it was really, really interesting. We had a great moderator in Jim Griffin, who's one of the nicest people in the music industry that you'll ever meet.
Which is a hard title to carry.
It is. But there's probably nobody more fair in the industry and more level-headed in terms of looking at the industry than Jim. So
cool.
It's great to have him there.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for coming by and taking this interview. And we look forward to seeing what you guys are up to.